call this meeting of the Rotary Club of Oakland to order. I am Dudley Thompson.
Really weird.
1908. We are the third established Rotary Club of some 35,000 Rotary clubs in the world. We are a diverse community of some 300 local business, professional, and community leaders who unite to improve local and international communities through a common commitment to service above self. For over 113 years, we have welcomed Rotarians and guests to our club meetings, and I welcome you to this 5,347th meeting of our Rotary Club. Welcome. For those of you attending online, if you are a visiting Rotarian or a guest of a Rotarian, please enter your name in the chat box located at the center of the bottom of the screen so that we can recognize you in a few minutes. We recommend that you view today's meeting on Speaker View, located in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you have comments or want to ask a question today, please use the chat box. For those of you here in the California Ballroom, I will ask that you do not use your electronic device to watch the meeting on Zoom or to connect to the ballroom Wi-Fi. I also ask that you refrain from talking during the meeting because as the sound becomes background noise on our online broadcast. Now I would like to ask member Renia Webb to lead us with the Rotary Vision Statement and Thought for the Day. Renia?
Sorry, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians. How are you? Virtually via my car. President Dudley, may you put up the mission statement so I could read it, please? Awesome. Here's our Rotary International vision. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. And I'll follow with our thought of the day in honor of today's meeting, which highlights our club committees and in celebration of our upcoming summer 2021 Olympics. I searched for a quote about leadership and teamwork, and I came upon a wonderful quote by one of NFL's most successful coaches and by a renowned leader across the industry in all sports, by Coach Vince Lombardi. And the quote says, "I don't necessarily have to like my players and associates, but as their leader, I must love them. Love is loyalty. Love is teamwork. Love respects the dignity of the individual. This is the strength of any organization." By Vince Lombardi. Thank you, and that's our thought of the day.
Thank you, Renia. I'm going to begin. I need to ask your silence. A longtime member, William Shearer, died this last week. William was a 32-year member of this club. 2016, some of you newer members don't know him, but his last year with us was 2016. But his daughter called and told it he'd been living in Walnut Creek, I believe. I'm going to do two together here. Right before the meeting, we learned that Dave Anderson died last night. He fell down a flight of stairs while he was at a retreat center yesterday, or I guess over the 4th of July weekend. Can we take a moment of silence to remember our former members, William Shearer and Dave Anderson? Thank you. So about a month ago, our club was told that Rotary Magazine was going to doing some kind of story in August, I believe it's in August, about the First Five Collaborative. The First Five Collaborative, it's a conversation that started during the pandemic between the first 5 clubs established in Rotary: Chicago, San Francisco, Oakland, Seattle, and Los Angeles. Alex,
President Dudley, please ring the bell in honor of Bill and Dave.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Thank you very much. We go back. The First Five Collaborative is a conversation that started during the pandemic between the first 5 clubs established in Rotary: Chicago, San Francisco, Oakland, Seattle, and Los Angeles. So on that, about a month ago, we were asked to send 3 members to a studio for a photo shoot. We had a day or so to pull this all together before the shoot. President-elect Mary Jiang, AV co-chair Sandeepa Nayak. Where's Sandeepa? Oh, Sandeepa's in the back room running our Zoom meeting. And I were available. It was a fun hour. Most of the time was hamming it up. I have to say my main memory was Mary leading a conga line that was really a little bit more like a bunny hop. And so they allowed us to take one of the pictures home of us. They probably took 100, 150 pictures over the hour. So this was a picture. So Sandeepa put this up on our club's Facebook page and created a caption contest. Let me read some of the responses to you. Shake things up with Rotary. Get on with the humanity love train with Oakland Rotary. Rotary number 3, triple players. Allison, who's here with us today. Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be the one to carry on. Jason Weiselman, join on the love train. Isaac Cosreed entered twice. We didn't put a limit on entries. A 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3 great Rotarians. An officer and gentlewomen of Rotary. Conga line Rotary style. Come on, Dudley, even you can do it. Rotary Conga, get in the groove at Rotary, our 2021 Leadership Rock, Oakland Rotary, ready for tomorrow, today. Oh, I'm getting used to this here. We'll go back in just a minute. Nice action shot. It looks like a magazine shot. 3 Musketeers, boogie on Rotary. We like it. We like to move it. Embracing Rotary. Choo-choo, get on the Rotary train. So Sandeepa has generously offered to ring the bell for the caption winner. And I'm going to choose Isaac Cosreed. Ain't no party like a Rotary party. Thank you, Sam.
Yes, I wasn't expecting that, but thank you.
Alex rang the bell for Dave and William, and Sandeepa rang the bell for this caption. A bell ringer is a $100 donation to the Oakland Rotary Endowment. Now, there was a second place winner here because it was our district governor, Richard Flanders. His caption was, "What's a bell ring?" So what I missed, and I'm going to hopefully get better at this over the next 40, 50 meetings or so, is we forgot to introduce our visitors and our visiting Rotarians. Ed Schellen here. Ed, would you please introduce any visiting Rotarians?
Well, thank you, President Dudley. You know, for the last year and a half, I've been introducing visitors via Zoom, and so it is a very happy occasion for me to finally get to introduce a visiting Rotarian in person. And we do have a visiting Rotarian with us here today. He's a past president of the Rotary Club of Newark, a retired superintendent of school. Please join me in welcoming John Bernard.
Dudley, we have a visitor online as well. Can I go ahead and introduce the online visitor?
Sandeep is in the back. And did we have any visitors online, Sandeepa?
We have Julie Moore online. Welcome, Julie. She's a guest of Sam Miller.
Okay. And do we have any other guests in the room? Okay, thank you. So one of the things any incoming president is told to do is to put a piece of tape on the agenda up here so somebody doesn't take your agenda. They didn't say you have to actually look at the agenda. So today's program, one of the things I'm going to start off saying is over the last year, as we've been doing Zoom meetings and been separate, when we came back together, we just didn't quite know what's going to happen. This is our third meeting back together. This is the first meeting we didn't require registrations, and so you are welcome to come in the future without registering ahead of time, although at least through July, we still do require vaccinations. So we're just kind of learning how many people will actually come to the ballroom, and we don't know that. This was something we talked about in the first 5 collaborative, and it's just an unknown how many will visit on Zoom. We're in a new world, and we're learning. I say that because we don't have a particularly great attendance today, and it's about half of what was last time. So I'm hoping that next week we have a great speaker and people start coming back in since you don't have to register. Today's meeting is a little different, and I recommended not having a speaker today. We're going to have 8 speakers. Last week, I recommended to the club that we do a year-long focus on membership, retention, and recruitment. We will spend this year building a foundation for the future of our club for years to come. The strength of our organization is our members, who we are and what we do. Who we are is about our relationships with each other, our families, and our communities. This week, we're going to focus on the opportunities in the club to work and play with each other and the projects we do to serve each other, to serve others. I've asked 8 committees to come today to tell you about what it is like to be on their committee, and if you're board stiff going to a committee meeting, what projects and activities they offer for participation. Particularly over the next couple months, but throughout the year, I will ask other committees to tell you about what they do and how you can help them. Today, you will hear from our membership coordinator, Keith Uriarty, and the chairs of the committees for membership recruitment, audiovisual, public image and communications, community service, world community service, high adventure and sports, speakers, and kinder prep. Some of the folks are here in person, and some of us will join online. I'll just take an aside. That's going to be what our meetings are like in the future. We will have speakers that come to the ballroom and do our Civic Thursdays in person, and we will continue to have speakers who will come online. It's a new world we live in. I will start by asking each person the reason they joined Rotary, and if that is the reason they are still here. Then I will ask about their committee. The first person I'll ask up here is not representing a specific committee, but Keith Uriarty is the membership coordinator. He works with 7 committees, helping them work together and working with 4 other coordinators to, coordinate. That's what they do. So Keith, please come up here and so Keith, at hand. The first thing, you can stand right here in a moment. The first thing I'm going to ask you is, what was the reason that you joined Rotary?
Well, after my 3rd retirement and preparing for that 3rd retirement, I wanted to continue being part of the community, but also expand my involvement in the community. And so how do I do that? Well, I was thinking of the person 25 years ago who asked me to join Rotary, and I did, and that was over in the peninsula. And then And keeping that in mind, I ran into a person, my wife and I ran into a person while we were wine tasting at Brooklyn West Winery and Allison Bliss. And we got into a conversation, and what comes up? Rotary. And so I asked Allison if she would sponsor me, and she did, and haven't looked back. So thank you, Alice.
So are you still here for the same reason that you came?
No, I mean, every day has been different challenges, meeting people. I mean, this is my second live meeting since the pandemic. I have not been in a person-to-person. Most of the people that I've met have been on Zoom, and but then, all the activities, and I make a few comments in my comment section about the activities. And one of the things I didn't mention, but I'll mention now, pickleball. That was something that Pat organized. It's like, and we spent 2 or 3 hours playing this great game that we'd never played before. But it was just people getting together, and that's really what keeps me going.
Thank you. So Keith, would you tell us a little bit about your role, a little oversight on membership and how you see it this year?
Thank you. Fellow Rotarians, so this year, under President Dudley's leadership, our goal is not just to increase membership and increase membership engagement, but to strengthen our outreach in the Oakland community and build upon our greatest resources, all of you, our members. You are more than engaged members of Oakland Rotary. You're the mosaic, that part of what makes Oakland so great. We will and are asking you to reach out to that friend, coworker, neighbor, or golfing buddy who you know would be an asset to further the principles of Rotary. And to the current Oakland Rotary members that have not fully connected to our Rotary, we will and are asking you to reach out to her or him and invite her or him to join a committee, help mentor a struggling student, or help or on a project to assist the homeless in finding housing, or be an ambassador to work with seniors, or, and yes, take a bike ride with fellow Rotarians on one of the great bike paths in the East Bay. We often take for granted what being a Rotarian is. Let's begin this year of President Dudley's term by taking nothing about Oakland Rotary for granted and share what we have in Oakland Rotary with everyone we know. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Keith. So our next person is someone who Keith and I have been working with the past couple months in particular, meeting almost every week. David Kirsten is our chair for membership recruitment. And David, there you are, you're joining us online today. David, welcome, and would you tell us how you decided to join Rotary?
Yeah, I'm a newer Rotarian. I joined almost a year and a half ago now, and I really saw the club as a key vehicle for doing things in the community and inspiring others to get involved. I was also interested in the networking aspect of meeting more people in the East Bay area, and I really see, just love the inspiring and good-natured group of folks who I admired on my initial meeting, and I wanted to get to know them better.
So David,
Looks like we froze up.
this year.
I didn't hear the question. Was it about why I stayed in Rotary, or did you want me to get to the membership committee? Sorry. I think we were having a technical issue. Dudley, if you don't mind just repeating the question.
It's just you and I, David.
Pardon?
It's just you and I. I don't know who everyone else is.
Oh, you're on. I'm
Hear
here.
you?
I'm here. We're here.
Yeah, I can hear you, David.
Okay.
Where here really is the big question.
Okay.
Where is Dudley? Or
Some
where's
server
Mario?
that's having issues. That's where we're at. We're stuck on one server and they're on another one.
Trying to work this out here. So I don't know who can hear me right now except the people in the room. But one of the things over the last 6 months is everybody wants hybrid meetings. We want the ability to come to the ballroom and to meet in person. And yet we know that being online is very much the future of our club. Hybrid is much easier said than done. Our AV team, who's going to be up here in a minute, has done really an amazing job doing this. But we have glitches, and we're very forgiving. But do we have David yet? David, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now, and I heard that whole.
Quickly, David, the answer to your question was yes. Why are you still here?
Well, I'm still here because I continue to be grateful and amazed at the caliber and quality of the Rotarians in our club, and I really see it as a who's who of the East Bay area in terms of who's really
I'm okay. I
making
brought some
out there in
lunch.
the community, leaving government entities aside. I think the most powerful aspect of Rotary is a sense of community and connection the club provides on how to facilitate productive and focused action from a diverse set of people. After all, we can accomplish very little on our own, particularly compared to what we can accomplish as a group or community that is all working together to further the common good.
You were doing great until then.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We'll just.
Tell us a little bit about recruitment.
Yeah, I first want to thank you, President Dudley, for asking me to chair the membership committee and also work closely with Keith. And we've already made a lot of great progress. And I really admire your goal of getting the club back up to 400 members within a few years, up from about 275 currently. And I really think that's the key, is setting that big goal and then how do we get there? And, so we're going to work to rebuild the membership committee. And we've already, really got to work on that. As Isaac Newton found, it's a lot harder to put something into motion than to keep it in motion. So we're in the process of putting this committee and the strategy to build recruitment towards that 400 number this year. And we've, like you said, we've already been meeting every week, and this work is only beginning. And we'd like to invite our fellow Rotarians in the room and maybe folks we haven't even met yet to help our recruitment activities to get folks here to periodic meetings. We're going to be doing a big membership event in September and periodic membership events at breweries, at people's houses, to make a big push to get visitors here. We're also going to be reaching out to key prospective members who may have visited a past meeting or may have thought about Rotary in the past, and building alliances with community groups and organizations, taking a look at how best to invite and ultimately inaugurate new members into the club. So we have kind of a brain trust right now together, and we're looking for more folks to build on this small core effort. So if you are interested in the membership committee, meeting with us regularly to move the ball down the field, please reach out to me, Keith, or Dudley if you want to learn more about some of these detailed plans. I will post some of these remarks on Facebook in terms of if there's issues hearing, and we'll keep everyone updated. Who do you know who you can invite to a future Civic Thursday meeting sometime soon? And thanks, Dudley, for letting me talk.
Thank you, David. And I know a couple things that with a membership committee, now I know it's one of those committees also some people really don't want to be part of. It's just my experience as people, but we want such a robust committee. We want something that you can be excited about, that, it's a growing club. There's 2 or 3 other clubs that have really put this in motion, and it carries over from year to year. And the other thing is, you don't even have to be on the committee. What we want are people, we want all of our members to invite other people to an activity, to the ballroom, just to get to know us. But finally, the membership committee, one of the most interesting things I've done on membership is interviewing new members. And we need people that will interview new members, getting to know them. So anyway, thank you, David. Appreciate it. Jack, you and Sandeep are up here next. Would you come up? So we have the tag team here for AV, Sandeep Nayak and Jack Isles. So howdy. Jack, I'm going to ask.
Hi, everyone.
Jack, I'm going to start with you. Why did you join Rotary?
When I was in college, it was a service school, and I graduated, entered the workforce, and realized it's really hard to find time to, do service activities, maintain a social life, and, start your career. So someone recommended Rotary Club to me. It was a cousin back on the East Coast. My grandma knew someone who was in the club, and they brought me to a meeting, and I've been hooked ever since.
Are you still here for the same reasons?
Yeah, we haven't had much chance to do service work because of the pandemic, but I remember getting invited to go to the Alameda Food Bank when President Peter was, I think he invited me, but it was President Gudrin, and just, working with all of you guys was a blast, so I'm looking forward to getting back to doing that. But now you've got me doing some other work, which is still fun.
Sandeep, how did you decide to join?
So Danny Mai was one of the people I used to meet at one of the other networks that I belong to, and I was super impressed by what he had told us about the Rotary Club.
That's all right. That's okay. They can't hear you.
Okay. So I came along with Danny to one meeting, and when I was here at the meeting, it was so impressive. I mean, so many colorful people. It was like, Diwali in my country. So I said, woo, this is where I want to belong. And the first person to greet me was Barbara Berry, and she opened her arms and she hugged me, and I said, this is where I want to be.
Great. Are you still here for the same reason?
Absolutely. I saw Barbara today and I recollected the first hug. There you go.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the AV committee.
So why don't you start, Jack?
Yeah, so the AV committee started off just doing this sort of, audio visual stuff, running slides. Peter, when he was the president, he really wanted us to get us on Zoom and live streaming. Then COVID hit and we were already set up. We've talked about that before. So now what we're doing, we're running these hybrid meetings. We're working out a lot of kinks. Dudley, he didn't love that we were at like half attendance, but we've got almost 50 people on Zoom right now. So we've got pretty good Zoom attendance. We've got speakers coming through Zoom, and that's what we do, but we do need a lot of help.
So
what kind of help do you need?
So here is my take on the AV team. I feel our Rotary has wonderful members doing wonderful things, like really, really wonderful things. And what AV committee does is we record what you do, we project you to the universe, and we publicize. I'm going to talk into the mic right now because the mic was very high. So there you go. And that's what we want to preserve, the history, like my friend says. We want to preserve your history, and we want to record you, we want to project you, we want to show the good that Rotary does, so we can pull more people in. We help you pull in more people. So I think joining the AV team is a really, really good choice. So come join us. Help make history, help record history.
So Jack, there's a lot of, I'm going to say that it looks like a lot of complicated equipment there. I mean, you need some people that are willing to take the challenge, but what else can people do if they just look at this and their eyes gloss over?
Yeah, so we need people who have some technical skill. We need people who are just personable and like to be on Zoom. Sandeepa, she's in the back office hosting this on Zoom right now. If you guys want to attend meetings from home and you're comfortable, just host on your local, home computer and chit chat, sort of be the Ed Ellen of Zoom, introduce guests, let people know who rang the bell. We would love to have someone do that. Susie over here is handling some of the, like, you know, the shots and stuff. So if you think you've got a good eye for what would look good, I know we've got some great photographers. You could run around with our portable camera and get people who are talking in the crowd. We just need manpower. If you want to learn the really technical stuff, we're more than happy to teach you. It looks bad, it looks like a rat's nest, but we've got it rigged so that it's super easy to set up, break down, and it's really a lot of fun. I feel like I'm like producing the Oscars when I switch different shots.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jack and Sandeepa. So the next person up is going to be Isaac Koss-Reed. We're going to give Jack just a moment here to get Isaac up online. And Isaac is he's both the coordinator and the chair for public image and communications. Got Isaac there. Howdy, Isaac, welcome.
Hi there. Oh, did we lose audio?
We can hear you.
I think he froze.
Isaac, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's the bandwidth out of the
No, we can hear you fine. Just go ahead.
Oh, okay.
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, well, what question am I to respond to? I mean, should I be telling the story?
Why did you join Rotary?
Yes.
I joined Rotary because of all these amazing people. And I remember Abel Guillen, I remember Riza Hernandez, I remember Harold Lowe, I remember David Stein, I remember Anna Marie Jones, all these people who I would see in other spaces would say, hey, you should come to this Rotary meeting. And then I'd be like, what Rotary meeting? And then I'd look at all the things that were going on and I'd go, these are my people. They're interested in everything. And they meet weekly? I don't believe this. So then I went to, you know, my first meeting and I was in awe of the structure at that point. I was like, wow, I know what it takes to produce an event and make it interesting and bring good people together. And they do this every week. That's some history. That's some institutional fortitude. So that's how I joined. Is the next one is why I stayed?
President Dudley.
Or why I'm still here?
Still here for the same reason you joined.
I would say yes, and because definitely it's helped me deepen relationships with people who I might have said, oh, I know, like I don't know if he's there in the room, but pay my respects to past President Sess. You know, we worked very closely together under his presidency, and sure, I'd worked together with him in the past, but that was an amazing opportunity because you never really know somebody completely except by working with them on something. And then similarly, you know, even with getting to know, I'm seeing on the screen here, for example, BART Director Rayburn, a gentleman who I've respected for years, and just having more opportunities to talk with him and get to know him as a human being. Because in recognizing that whether we're talking about Oakland as a whole or society as a whole or organizations, we all know that stuff gets done by a small subset of people. And I feel like that subset, Rotary is in that subset of people that are always getting stuff done.
And that's almost a segue into your committee. Could you tell us a little bit about public image and communication?
Sure. We're about maintaining, promoting, projecting the Rotary Club of Oakland #3 brand, and while respecting the broader umbrella of the Rotary International brand that we, you know, have a shared history with. And what that means on a functional basis is every Monday, we are on the phone together for 30 minutes by Zoom, brainstorming story ideas, talking about content, making sure we know what's going on externally, what's going on internally. And so how can we help, you know, ride that wave, that interface in between, which is what I do on a day-to-day basis professionally. And so it's a great opportunity to really orient my brain every week in harmony with a group of people who think in similar ways, like Stephanie Kazenza, Linda Chu, and Ruth Strupp, and Leanne Alameda, who's been a phenomenal co-chair really with me for the last couple of years. And then we execute. So 30 minutes by Zoom, and then we say, this is what we're posting, this is what we're sharing, this is what we're writing, this is what we're photographing, this is what we're sharing in this way.
Do you need people on that committee? Sounds like you're pretty well fixed. Do you need people?
I mean, communication is one of those areas where the number of ways for us to communicate it's like it keeps on growing every year, evolving at the very least. Like back in the day, Rotary was probably a once a month hard copy newsletter organization that otherwise only met in person. And then maybe there were phone calls in between. Now you have all of those options plus Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, email newsletter, blog, website. I mean, you can just keep going and going. And so we are always trying to stay in line with like latest and greatest best practices for not only our current members, but also our target audience, which, might be younger and more diverse, for example, if we're going to grow in that direction. So how do we reach those folks? Are they on the same platforms as, the rest of us old fogies? And so we have a team that usually has we try to assign one asset per person, but we're definitely missing. We need graphics people because right now it's like, us on Canva in our spare time, and none of us are true graphics experts. I would love if there were somebody in our ranks who was a graphics whiz. Please come work with us. We always need writers, because it's, you got to get some content out there. And so we need some storytellers. We have a group of sort of a band of fairy ad hoc photographers, but if there was someone who really wanted to own the photography piece more, that's a fantastic asset for us. I feel bad for Sandeepa, who not only spoke previously because of all this work she does on AV, but she's also been really our split person on the website and YouTube. We really need someone who's comfortable managing the back end of a website, and would love to have someone who were a video whiz. So come one, come all. We've got lots of needs.
Isaac, I remember in a meeting, even something as simple as if people would just post up on, neighborhood, next door neighborhood, or, just simple things that people can be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're informally, you don't have to be a member of the communications team to be, a brand ambassador, if you will. Anyone who, and there are a lot of you out there, I know, who just as a course of your day, like you broadcast to the world every day before this meeting, I share to the world, hey, today's Rotary speaker is this, come join us, just tune in online. And occasionally you get one person, two people who go, oh, I'm curious about that subject. I'm going to watch that. Oh, hey, thanks for suggesting that. And so that kind of stuff on social media is helpful, but also old school, you get one of Linda Chu's great Rotary newsletters, e-newsletters, and you say, you know what, I'm going to pause for a second and think, who are 5 people I should forward this to say, hey, that conversation we had last week about ways to be more involved and impactful, come to a Rotary meeting once, check this out, or check out that blurb below. Like, is that what you were thinking about? Or, something like that.
Isaac, I'm going to thank you. And that's a great presentation. And I'm going to move on to David Kittner. David is the chair of our Community Service Committee.
Hello, President Dudley.
Welcome. So David, how did you decide to?
I did it for business. I was just starting out being a realtor and wanted to make contacts and improve my business. And then I very quickly discovered that Rotary is where Eagle Scouts go when they grow up, and the community service and what we give back into the community is why I continue to stay here.
So are you still here for that reason?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So David, tell me, you've got a really busy committee. In 10 seconds or less, tell us everything community service does and how you need people.
Okay. We do three primary things. So the first one is the easiest to describe. We raise money for Feed the Hungry to help deal with food insecurity in our community. And the way members can help is you get to deliver a check to the recipients. You get to learn and know the recipient, and then you engage with the committee on deciding whether we should continue to support them for Rotary, and then make the recommendation back to the whole club of who we're going to be supporting and getting a speaker for the Feed the Hungry Day. The second thing that we do is we administer grants. This year we are administering direct grants. So we are making an effort to go out and find organizations that we can help improve their capacity so that they can serve and help our community better. And there is a tremendous amount of work that is happening there, and we could use all the help we could get. So for example, we've got 7 people this month who are contacting various organizations, working on ideas for grant proposals and service days. Those will then be presented back to our committee. Then groups will go site visit and work with folks to decide what makes sense for a grant. And then the committee as a whole, we engage in long, extensive but fun discussions, and you get to let your voice be heard and vote on what we're doing. So you are directly involved with where Rotary is putting the money and influencing what's going to happen. And then finally, we are doing service days again. Last year, we weren't able to do it. Daniel Chang is going to be leading the process this year. Thank you, Daniel. We've got 4 service days already planned and in the works. That is, we're going to do a PAL camp cleanup again. We're going to go back to the Alameda County Food Bank. We are going to do a trash day with Untrash East Bay. And we're going to do a yet to be determined project down at St. Vincent de Paul. So the first project is actually this month, Saturday, July 31st at PAL Camp, where we're going to do a cleanup, getting the cabins ready for campers to start showing up. So tools will be provided. Daniel or somebody else from the committee is going to give you more details in the coming week. But put it on your calendar, July 31st, Saturday, we will be doing our first service day for PAL Camp.
That's right, and PAL is Police Athletic League. They have a camp up in the regional park area, and in the past we've helped them do some painting, clean up around the campsite, and that's you said Saturday, July 31st, is that right?
That is. This will be our 4th service day in the last 5 years. And we have also given the Police Activity League 2 grants during that time. One of them, if you go up there, you'll see we provided the funds to buy the roofing material to re-roof all the cabins up there. And if you go there, you will see the Rotary Wheel. Rotary has been involved with this camp since the mid-1950s. So it's a good experience. It maintains that camp, and it's a good relationship with the police, the Police Activities League. So it's a fun day. And usually Officer Hargroves will cook us some.
If you have 3 hours on Saturday morning, the 31st, please sign up. It's online, it's on the calendar. There was an email sent out, but you can go to the calendar. There's a link to where you can register to do that. Daniel Chang is here in the room. Hi, Daniel. Daniel will lead us on that effort. Thank you, David. So do we have Barbara Berry in the room?
Yes, I'm here online.
Great. You in Des Moines, Barbara?
I'm in Des Moines and I'm on my way to my Uncle Kent's funeral, but I wanted to join the meeting and make good on my promise to tell you all the virtues of World Community Service.
Just a moment and tell us why you joined.
Well, initially I joined because of business networking, but it only took the meeting with Carl Stuckey for me to realize that my values in traveling and helping people aligned with Rotary's values. And so the idea of traveling, meeting people locally and adding service to that, to others, to that mix was just fantastic through Rotary. So I was, World Community Service was immediately a good fit for me, and it still is.
Thank you. So tell us about your World Community Service Committee.
Well, I am very excited to be sharing, co-chairing with Marie Saveri-Mutu, who is unfortunately unavailable today. She wanted to join us, but she has a lot of relatives visiting from Sri Lanka for her daughter, who is going to become engaged this Saturday. So Marie sends her greetings to everybody. But friendships like that are really the basis for Rotary.
So what do you actually do on your committee, if somebody's on the committee?
So the Carl Stuckey World Community Service Committee is charged with spending the money that you all create as a budget for us. In other words, every year, every Rotarian, the donations go to Rotary International, the Rotary Foundation, and come back to us in the form of a budget that then our committee is charged to spend. And we spend it on global grants primarily. There are some cash grants as well. And we do service projects throughout the world. There are 7 areas of focus that I don't have time to explain. But what I want to invite everybody to consider is participating on the July 20 meeting at 5:30 to learn more. We're going to outline the plan for the year in that meeting. We're going to involve trainings. We're going to involve ways for people to become more involved, learn more about how to do a project, how to be involved in a project. So it's going to be a different feeling this year. Also, I'm really excited to tell you that Rotary International has opened up the grants to allow us to join with a Rotaract committee to fund a project together. So if you like working with young people, then consider making connections with Rotaract and doing a project that way. But in the meanwhile, if you are not able to join the committee, what you could do is participate in various Rotary activities like Avenues of Service or the district conference this coming Saturday, or the Unión das Americas travel in the January or February. All those ways build relationships, and you would be surprised how those relationships then create the base from which global grants can be created. I am so privileged that I've been able to do 4 global grants with the Bombay Queen City Club in India. And we've done spectacular work together, and it's through friendships. There is another thing happening, which is very exciting, which is our district governor is sponsoring a project to raise money for wheelchairs to be purchased and sent to Mexico, distributed with local Rotarians. And our district 5170 is invited to go on that trip. It'll probably be in the spring. So even if you aren't on the committee, you could begin to see why it's so impactful to go to a trip like this. An example of that was I went to Ghana to immunize children against polio. It changed my life. It was absolutely spectacular. So consider coming on the wheelchair distribution trip. The other thing is, please do continue every Rotarian every year to donate to the foundation, because that directly comes back to us as our budget to spend.
Thank you, Barbara. I know those trips, Joe Garalka is here in the room, and he told of a trip when he did a wheelchair distribution. In fact, Mary Jiang, I believe, went to China one time to do a wheelchair distribution. And it's just the stories they tell from going on one of these trips is amazing. Thank you so much, Barbara, for coming with us today. So one of the first things I'm learning as president is don't pack too much into a meeting. And so I've asked Robert Kidd, I've asked him to do his presentation next week. And John Holmgren, I know, had a dental appointment this morning. And so he was either online or going to be here. But I'm going to ask if John could delay his for another week or two, and we'll get him in here. I do want to get Mark Rosen, who's chair of our High Adventure Committee. Mark, are you here with us? Yes, you are. There you are. Mark, how did you decide to join Rotary?
I was actually invited by Chip Doyle, and this was during the tenure of David Douglas. And Chip and I had known each other out in Contra Costa County professionally, and he said, come, you'll enjoy yourself. And I did. It was like, I tell people, coming to a David Douglas president meeting was like coming to Saturday Night Live. It was that engaging, that much fun. And because of what I do, I live in a world of chaos with technology. Getting away from that and laughing and feeling the warmth of the people at Rotary and how engaging they were, I decided to join.
You still here for the same reason?
I'm here for a lot of reasons. One, I like what the purpose of Rotary does. I love their focus. I love the people that I engage with. I enjoy the activities. I enjoy taking high adventure and incorporating it into the other committees with collaboration. I've got great people around me, and I'm like a little gnat at times. You know, I don't want to go away, so here I am.
Great. So tell us what you do with high adventure in sports these days.
Well, high adventure is really diverse, and you have to understand what the purpose of high adventure is to have members engage with each other in numerous types of activities, where they're comfortable with those activities, or they want to learn about those or experiencing them. I can't tell you the number of members that have gone to zip lining or indoor rock climbing or cycling, and they've never done these things before. So the purpose of high adventure is to get people engaged within the club and outside of the club, especially within the diverse community of Oakland, to possibly bring them in to the Rotary group. What do? We do all sorts of things. And I'm really fortunate. For example, I have Steve Blair that coordinates with me on cycling. I've got Robert Kidd, who is our hike master. And I've got great Tom Lamone, who is technically my co-chair. Sometimes he reminds me that he doesn't want to be the co-chair anymore, but he does. And he gets engaged in the sports events, the A's game that a lot of people went to, 100 people attended. That is Tom. The Roots, when the Raiders were here, we had football. Tom is really into knowing people in the community and getting those type of activities to going. We're also reaching out and collaborating with other members and with their organizations. For example, Howard Lowe with the Boy Scouts. We have some collaboration coming up to help their Boy Scout members fulfill some of their merit badge obligations. And we're going to start doing that hopefully in the end of August in cycling and hiking. And we're looking for more types of collaboration in that. So High Adventure is a mix of a lot of things. We like people to come not only to the meeting, but just to email us and say, look, I'd like to go out whale watching, or I'd like to go back to the kayaking, or can we do this, or can we do that? We want members to be engaged and get back to that sociability part of the club where we have fun and we feel like we really want to invite people and involve the families, most important.
So Mark, you've got a lot going on there, but I think you actually have some events planned. Don't you have some things on the calendar just in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, we do. And I've got to get some of those up there. We've got we got a hike coming. We've got some cycling coming. We're planning for next year. We've got a movie night. We may even get a movie night here, but check the Rotary calendar. I do send out emails about the upcoming events, but you're right, Dudley. I've been overwhelmed at work. You can picture the ransomware and all the technology going on. So I'm a little behind in getting those up, but I will.
No, we've got an A's game. We bought 100 tickets for it, so we want to sell.
We got the Yankees game at the end of August, and this is really important. And Dudley expressed it best, the seating area. Thank you, Dudley, for doing that.
Doing that with fireworks. I hear there's no fireworks for that event.
No, there's a laser show. And this should be exciting, but the seating area it accommodates 200. We've got 100 people. No one else joins us. You can walk around, you can socialize, you can watch at the game. It's something that you should come, bring the family, do it. I think we've got about 40 tickets left, so don't linger.
You know, these, some of you, we're not going to have fireworks, but you say a laser show. It's my understanding, if you watch the Olympics or some of these big events where they have these huge drone operations, it's better than fireworks in many ways. And that's what the show is going to be at the A's game.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dudley. But I'm in Rotary because I just love Rotary. There's no other way to do it. You know, that's what I'm here for.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Robert, would you come up and talk about our next week's speaker? After I just cut Robert out of his time up here, I got to get him up. Every past president, you got to give them their due. Seth, you'll get plenty.
Thank you, President Dudley. You know, Dudley, you wouldn't believe what has happened here in downtown during the pandemic since we last met here at the California Ballroom. Just by way of one example, you wouldn't believe what has happened in my old parking place at Douglas Parking. The next week, we'll bring that was a laugh line, by the way. Next week, our speaker is Kelly Kahn. Kelly is a director of special projects at the City of Oakland's Office of Economic Development. And she will be bringing us up to speed on projects that have come to fruition during the pandemic, what's happening right now, and plans for the future. Next week, Kelly Kahn here at Oakland Rotary number 3.
Thank you, Robert, for teasing next week. I want to thank, first of all the greeters and mic runners for club service. Our board of directors has been serving this month doing the greeting, so if you come in here, you'll certainly get to meet the movers and shakers of the club, I guess. Renia, thank you so much for doing the vision statement and the thought for the day. Ed Jelen, thank you, and Sandeepa for introducing people today. Keith Uriarty, thank you. David Kirsten, Jack Hiles, Sandeepa again, Isaac for doing their introduction, David Kittner, Barbara Berry from Iowa. I love Iowa. And Mark Rosen for telling us about High Adventure. Bell ringers today, thank you, Alex, for ringing the bell, and Sandeepa for sponsoring, for ringing the bell for the caption project, for the caption. We're gonna maybe, if this caption thing works, we're gonna start putting up a picture every once in a while on Facebook and have another caption contest like every month or so. So please watch Facebook, and you'll make Isaac happy too, because he'll get good metrics on Facebook. So everyone I want to thank today for coming and joining us. Remember, we're Rotary. We serve to help others, and don't keep Rotary a secret. This meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.